Cowboy Logic, Episode 10. A cowboy doesn't quit just because the trail gets rough. Welcome back to Cowboy Logic. I'm Ann Dunbar, and today's story isn't about Christmas, childhood, or heirlooms passed down through generations. Today, I want to tell you about a day I almost quit writing altogether. A day when doubt felt heavier than hope. It's not a story I've shared much, but maybe it's one someone out there needs to hear. There was a day, not too many years ago, when I sat at my desk and stared at a blank page until it felt like a mirror. Every doubt I'd ever had stared back at me. You're too tired. You're too overwhelmed. Who do you think you are? Who's going to care what you write anyway? Life felt heavy then. My health was unpredictable, and grief, the kind that never really leaves, sat on my chest like a stone. On that day, writing didn't feel magical or healing. It felt like one more thing I was failing at. I closed my notebook, closed my laptop, and for the first time I thought, maybe I'm done. Just like that. No big dramatic moment, just defeat, quiet and heavy. Bed that night, telling myself it didn't matter. Nobody would miss my stories. Nobody even knew them yet. But as I lay there in the dark, I heard another voice. Not a loud one, not some shining moment of clarity, just a memory. My mama's voice, gentle as warm blankets, saying, "Baby, you've always been a storyteller. Writing is where you shine, and you don't give up just because it's hard." And then, almost as if they were standing beside me, I heard my daddy's voice. "If you love something, you fight for it. Now take a breath, then get back up." I realized something then. I wasn't thinking about success, readers, or sales or reviews. I was thinking about the little girl I used to be. The one who wrote stories to survive the world that she was living in. And suddenly, quitting felt like leaving her behind. So the next morning, I opened the laptop again. Not because I felt confident, or not because I felt ready, but because I felt called. Sometimes the quietest voice is the one that saves you. Since that day, I've written through exhaustion, fear, heartbreak, and even doubt. And you know what's funny? Those cracks, the very things that made me want to quit, are the things that make my writing true. Ivy's grief in starting over in Montana, it came from my own losses. Anya's terror and Anya's salvation, it came from seasons when I didn't feel safe in my own skin. Bet's determination and Bet's Christmas gamble, that fire, that stubborn hope, well, that's me. The version of me that refused to stop. And Garrett's darkness and Bet's Christmas gamble, his fear of losing the people he loves, well, some wounds run deeper than fiction. But I didn't quit because these stories weren't just stories. They were pieces of me, stitched together in the same way my grandmother stitched that quilt. Not perfect, not polished, but alive. Writing didn't save my life, but writing gave my life a place to speak. There will always be days when you want to quit, and you'll want to quit whatever you're trying to do. Some days you'll feel too tired, and some days you'll feel too alone. And just some days, the blank page or the empty room or the long road ahead will feel too big to face. But here's the truth. The voices that tell you to quit are loud, but the one that tells you to keep going, that one matters more. Listen for it. It might sound like someone you loved. It might sound like someone who loved you. Or it might sound like the child you used to be, still hoping you won't give up on them. He doesn't quit just because the trail gets rough. He tightens the reins, says a prayer, and takes the next step. Writing is the same way. Life is the same way. You don't have to feel brave to keep going. You just have to keep going. Thanks for spending this time with me on Cowboy Logic. The stories I almost gave up on are the ones that carried me the furthest, and I hope they remind you that your voice matters too. I'll be back next week with another story, another truth, another bit of wisdom from the long roads we walk. Until then, keep writing, and don't you dare give up on your own trail.